I mean, I'm already in the doghouse already. Did you guys hear about this?
Mm.
I'll end with this. Yeah, I'm in the doghouse with Tim at fakeologist.com.
Huh.
Let me track this down. I wasn't going to bring this up. I was going to end the call and not get it to the drama. Let me find it. Let's see. All right, looks like it's on the next page. Here we go. It's called Leave Them Kids Alone. And here it is. Okay. And it says, Fakeologists, we have an issue that I loathe to bring up in this area, but I thought if it went to the derailing room, it may be deemed unimportant or overlooked. Apparently, an entity using the name Markus Allen from Truth in 7 Minutes is contacting Fakeologist members and offering an image he proposes as me, my home address, and other web details that he truth sleuthed out. By the way, I used to go by the name Truth Sleuth 7 or 8 years ago, until I just used my name. While I will not confirm whether any of his information is valid, it is valid. He changed he actually put a password on the site that I've referenced. I will confirm that his actions have upset and disturbed the members he contacted. That is not true. People wanted to know what Tim looked like. I have a picture of what Tim looks like. I have a picture of what his children look like, his wife looks like, and they were very excited to see it was actually two people. Two people were quite excited to see what Tim looks like. He continues, as people here know from my past broadcasts, one of my first ones had Markus on. While I have no idea who he was, I was quickly warned in the chat at chatgrabber.com, blah, 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 show 123030, Steve Diak episode, that Markus was there to take over. At the time, it really didn't bother me, as I'm glad that anyone was interested enough to help me through my recovery of 9/11 truth. As time passed, it appears that many people have warned me of this entity. I guess I am now an entity, guys. Did you know that? Yeah, it's true.
Well done.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's a compliment. Thank you. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, this is so entertaining.
We're correct in their assessment, so I've avoided confrontation or interaction. I use the name Ab Irato for a simple reason. It's Latin, which I like, and it illustrated my anger from what I learned about 9/11. Markus, spelled wrong by the way. First of all, it's K. It's not an S, it's a $sign. Please put MARKUS $, no S. Coaxed me into using... That was a joke, guys. You're supposed to laugh. Come on. Coaxed me into using my real first name while speaking to him, which I was okay with, since I've used it since the beginning of my new computer connectivity career and was planning on using it while I talked to people I already knew to avoid confusion. Here's the good part. My real first name is to the extent in which I plan to reveal my identity. This has proved to be a wise move, since apparently no friend or family is interested in discussing 9/11 and our false reality. In fact, they are afraid, embarrassed, and a bit ashamed that I even dwell upon it. It's the elephant in the room whenever I'm around, while I pity others for not understanding my epistemology. Well, whatever. I cannot...
Epistemology.
Thank you very much. I cannot force it on them and do not wish to cause them any possible humiliation for associating with me and my views. Therefore, I guard my privacy carefully and have taken steps to expunge any accidental record of my persona from the web. Interesting use of the word persona. I suppose if you really want to dig and have endless hours of computer time to do so, you could find me, but what would that accomplish? Well, let me fill you in a little bit here, Tim. It took me exactly 1 second to find you. You, because you think everything should be free, you host everything on a free website. If you know what I know about tracking people down, when you host things on a free website, it's a dead giveaway what your other websites are because it's on the same C-class. So all of your free websites are on the same C-class. You cheap bastard. More of my views are public here than they are most other people's on the entire planet. I have a huge site full of my personal views. They are real. Apparently, this has resonated with some amazing other real people, and it's my pleasure to host them on this site for as long as they wish, for nothing in return. This site, however, is the extension of my persona that I wish to circulate online to prevent any harm or other unforeseen events to my real family. He has the word real bolded 3 times. I'm not exactly sure what he's implying with that. It's for this.
I think it's guilt. Those views were real when you first said them to him, when you guys were first talking together.
Huh.
You know, I think he's parroting a bit, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. It's for this reason that I find it despicable and immoral to use alleged elements of my private persona to threaten others. I have not threatened Tim. I don't know what Tim is talking about. But I'll get to that in a moment. Most real members are already on edge and vulnerable for sharing their deep mistrust of what they're told. To have someone threaten them, I've never threatened anyone, I have no idea what he's talking about, or intimidate them, no idea what he's talking about, I'll explain in a moment. With this information is like beating a vulnerable child. We all know we're on shaky ground with the masses when we question what we do, so having something further agitate us for gathering here and expressing ourselves is disgusting. And there's 2 more paragraphs. The investigation of, quote, truth, unquote, or our reality as manufactured. Notice how he parrots everything that I say, and he has this disgust for me. And by the way, I'm not the only one who notices this. If you go to other websites who talk about Tim, they always use pejoratives to describe him as being a mini-me. They always use my original last name of Goldstein. Oh, he's just, a Markus Allen Goldstein wannabe. He repeats everything that he says, blah, blah, blah. The investigation of truth or our reality is manufactured, I think he meant to say of, for us is full of pitfalls. It is my aim to create a place where doubters can let their hair down, as I have done, and not to be afraid of admitting they really don't know what's going on and seek solace and comfort of other similarly doubting people. The last thing we need is to be intimidated or harassed. Once again, I don't know what he's talking about. By those posing as our friend and threatening our judgment. Again, no idea what he's talking about. I'll remind members that this is a private site. If someone comes by to shit on the lawn, they'll be banned and their excrement removed. If you came to harass, you'll quickly be impressed with the real people here who will step up and call you out. Let me explain what he thinks are real people. If I were a betting man, I would say every single person, for the exception of maybe two, and that's doubtful, are real people that he's interviewed, had on his calls, etc. This is a joke that he thinks that the people, and that includes my site too. I am not stupid. I realize that people who subscribe as a vault investor, those who I've talked to in the past, are probably not real people. They're probably provocateurs who pretend to be real people and then try to ultimately swing me in the wrong direction. The idea that we have real people coming to the site is a joke. It's a sick joke, actually. It's really sad. Even if not one more fakeologist ever finds the site, I will consider it success thanks to the many great personalities. That's an interesting choice of words that I've met and learned from. Hopefully, many more will see the courage. I don't know. It's an interesting meme that some otherwise quiet individuals must have mustered and expressed here to do the same. Here's to keeping the courage of your convictions. Fake on. All right, let me explain what happened behind the scenes. When I first started truthin7minutes.com in 2008, September 11th, my goal was to create videos that were 7 minutes in length that took what many people who were doing these talk shows were doing and taking 3, 4, 5 hours to explain. I would be able to distill it down into a 7-minute video. And then for those who wanted more than 7 minutes, I would do exactly what we did tonight. We would go more into depth about stuff. That was the entire goal. Fast forward to, I think it was late last year, and I'm like, you know what? I was talking to Jim about this. I said, Joe Rogan. What's so great about this Joe Rogan guy? I tried to listen to him, and quite frankly, I didn't get it. I know he's big into conspiracy theories. Yet when you listen to what he talks about, it makes no sense what he's saying. A lot of the stuff didn't make any sense to me. Why don't we do what Joe Rogan is doing and just have multiple Joe Rogans, each with their own personalities, talking about the stuff that we talk to, and have it so that every day of the week, Monday through Friday, there would be a show. We would record the show, and we would allow people to listen to that show. So that's what I did. I tracked down 2 people. I tracked down, and now I'm forgetting his name, Rick Potvin, who was a guest at Fakeologist, and this Johnny Clues guy. I tracked him down because he seemed like a pretty cool guy. So I don't think I passed along. I was able to find, like I said, Tim's pictures, his blogs. He has multiple blogs, and they're very good. He's an excellent writer. He's probably one of the best writers ever. And I'm from the internet marketing space. So I taught bloggers how to not only write great content, but get paid to do so. He is one of the best writers I've ever seen in my life. This guy can crank out stuff, and I know it's him. I don't think there's a team. I think it's this guy. I think it's Tim. Just amazing. As far as his radio goes, I can't listen to it. For me, it's unlistenable to. There's never solutions. Tim has a bit of an ego. It's funny, he thinks I have an ego. Fine, whatever. So I found that those 2 people, this Johnny Clues guy and Rick Potvin, who came on, seemed like really cool guys. So in order to recruit them to do what we're doing now, I offered if they wanted to see what Tim looked like. Very innocuous. I'm like, hey, are you curious to see what Tim looked like? He left his webpage open. They jumped. They couldn't wait to see what Tim looked like. In fact, ever since this debacle came down, I've had emails of people saying, I would love to know what Tim looks like. He screwed me over. That Jan guy also screwed me over. I'd love to see what these guys look like. I mean, I get it a lot. That was it. That's all I did, is I showed the webpage, the blog. It actually wasn't a blog. It was a, I'm not going to say what it was because I don't want Tim to password protect this site. He actually password protected the wrong site. But there's a site that gives, well, if you look at the site, a lot more details about who Tim is. And there's nothing nefarious. I couldn't find if he was a Freemason, although he apparently did have a celebration at a lodge. But heck, anyone who throws a party, these lodges are open for the public and could have rented out the lodge. There's nothing nefarious. His father was in the glass industry. His father has patents. Nothing nefarious at all. That's it. That's all I did. It was a rapport builder. It was a way to get in when I was first talking to Rick Potvin, who I don't think I shared that with, and I shared it with this Johnny Clues guy. That's it. There was no threat. I'm not looking to threaten Tim. I mean, I'm pretty pissed off at Tim. I've done nothing but pass him tons of my visitors, and I've said all kinds of great things about his site and continue to say all types of great things about his site. But this is really like ridiculous. I've reached out to Tim multiple times. He just doesn't like me. I don't know why. I've tried to work things out. At one time we were supposed to meet up. Then he was going to be 45 minutes late. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. It's obviously not going to work out. And I completely avoided the site. I still visit the site. I learn a lot from the site. And I recommend that you look at the site. But this nonsense that I'm threatening or whatever the words it's just absolute crap. And if he continues talking about this, well, then I'm going to kick it up to the next level. And that's